Hi, I'm Brian DeCourt. Welcome to the Goalie podcast. I'm joined here by John Corrado. John, how are we doing today?
Doing excellent. Looking forward to this as always.
John is a former goaltending coach at Northeastern University at Merrimack College, and for the women's side, Boston College. My name is Brian DeCourt. If we haven't met yet, I am currently the goaltending director of scouting and development for the Detroit Red Wings, former BU goalie coach, and I was also a goalie scout for the Toronto Maple Leafs, goalie director of the Arizona Coyotes, now defunct Arizona Coyotes, and I was a goalie coach for the Boston Bruins before Ship was born. Probably that's probably what it was. And we're joined here today with our special guest, Richard Shipman. Ship, welcome to the Goalie podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Now, Ship is a longtime stop-at-goaltending goalie and is currently one of our directors, working primarily out of our Foxborough location, and has a really unique story about his journey in goaltending. And that's what we want to get into, because so often, everybody covers the D1s and the pros and the American Hockey League and the NHL. Today, we're going to get into the weeds on junior and club hockey and the Fed and some of the other levels that we don't often hear about and we don't understand. Like, a lot of people don't really understand a lot about the different levels that we're going to talk about. So, Ship, I want to start off with junior hockey, because the junior hockey experience can be an awesome one or a very challenging one, and often that challenging one ends up working out the best. So what was your junior hockey experience like?
Back when with the USPHL, I was with the South Shore Kings. That was back when Premier was the top level before the time of NCDC. And I was actually starting out at the Empire level right out of I did a post-grad year at prep school and wanted to go right into the South Shore Kings right after that. And I was actually honored on the Empire team being one of the 3 captains. Very big honor for me. I remember being at my public high school, Mansfield High School, for 4 years. And anytime I could, I'd sit in the bleachers after practice and watch the Kings practice. And not only to wear the Kings jersey, but to have a C on that jersey was a very big honor for me. So I took it very seriously, probably a little too serious.
So you did 4 years of high school.
4 years of high school. Went and did a post-grad year at Hebron Academy up in Maine.
Yeah.
And then
beautiful school.
Beautiful school in the middle of the woods, like 2
Yeah.
miles of trees all around it, and pretty much like 800 people total on campus from middle school to faculty.
Yeah. And how was your year at Hebron?
Terrible.
Okay. And that's because they were terrible, right?
No, a lot of goalies were recruited there. They had 1 kid returning, and then they brought in 8 of us.
So one prep school decided it was a good idea to bring 8 goalies in the same year.
Yep.
Yeah.
So not to interrupt, so there's a campus of 800 people, and 8 of them are goalies.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
So Ship, this is a pet peeve of mine right here. This has been, there are schools that have brought in 2 goalies, both like national level goalies. They bring in 2 of them, and they only play 29 games or something. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And then, I'll leave the school out. We had a goalie 2 years ago, really good goalie, good kid, on the rise, goes to a prep school in Western Mass, gets there, they get 10 new goalies, 10 goalies.
Yeah.
They had 2 teams. They put 5 goalies on a team. Ship.
Yeah, we had 6. We had 6 on JV. And I was actually, the way it went, they took 4 of us, or there was 3, and we had an exhibition game to decide who the 3 for varsity was going to be, and then the rest were just on JV. And I performed really well in the tryouts, and then had an awful exhibition game. Didn't even want to show my face on campus. And so then I was one of the 6 on JV. But
okay, I'm going to stop you right there, because once again, we warned you about this.
Yeah.
And sometimes we go down threads. So we've already gone down the thread of, all right, guess what? This is sometimes what happens with prep school. But the other side of it is, you had a tough one, right? And now you've got to go walk into school the next day after you got lit up like a Christmas tree.
Yep.
And a lot of times when I will advocate for a freshman, sophomore, play for their public high school. This is why.
Yeah.
Going to play for, let's say, the South Shore Kings Bantam, or you can call it 14U team, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You get lit up like a Christmas tree. You go to school, no one knows. No big deal. Like, yeah. You get lit up at a prep school, high school game, you walk in the calf, you hear about it, right?
Yeah.
And that makes you stronger.
Yeah.
And it makes you dial in a little bit more like, hey, like if I want to walk in this cap with my head high,
Yeah.
I want to do everything I can to play well. So it's a good. So when I look at it from a development experience, I like that aspect of playing for a school, as opposed to a private club team.
Yeah.
I'm not saying one's better than the other, but I like that aspect of it because there's a developmental experience that you get by having to do that.
Speaking of, like, this is something that I actually want to say for anybody who's considering going to a prep school as a freshman or as a post-grad, whatever, because we talk about, like, you know, smart decisions, that developmental path. And one thing I know we push at Stop It is, like, get out there and play other sports, right? Don't just be committed to just hockey and whatever, like, be athletic, go play other things. And at prep school, you have to play a sport every season. And unfortunately, I made the poor decision because I didn't like to run. I didn't want to play soccer, and the football team needed athletes. So I was like, I'll go play football for these guys. They need bodies. And it was a perfect situation because the coach told me, he goes, hey, you're a post-grad. I got 4 post-grads. I'm already going to start, all going to pretty much already committed to D1 schools. They're just here for, like, prerequisite. And I was like, Coach, I'm here for the gym. I'm here for sweating. Don't even worry about it. And I ended up busting my ankle really, really bad. Like, and when I lost that game in the exhibition game, the coaches sat me down and they're like, listen, we know we are 100% sure that was like your ankle. You're not 100%. Go down and play JV till you're 100%. And went down, took half the season before they play me in JV, played, got a shutout against our rival. Next practice, big Ukrainian kid, became friends with him. We would go try out for junior teams together. Swings into the crease, connects with my jaw, and I had to leave school for a month with a serious concussion. So athletically, it was a bust year.
All right, so let's talk this through a little bit, because I get asked this a lot about going to PG.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into trouble, John. John, this is when you say, Dak, stop talking.
Dak, seriously, think this through. Think this through.
Think this through, Dak. No, this is I've made a career of just saying what's on my mind. PG is a risky proposition. Okay. Number one is you get hurt, you get in your spot, right? Now, here's what a lot of people don't consider when they PG. When you PG, they have to find you where you are. Okay. Now, if you're PGing and going from a public high school, chances are you're not on the radar screen.
No.
Fair enough?
100%. 100%.
And your thought process is, I'm going to go PG because I want to get on the radar screen. The issue is you're probably going to be a D3 goalie at that point. And the good D3s have to have their kids go early decision for them to get them in the school. The good D3s are making decisions the first week of December.
Yeah.
Okay. Prep school only starts the 10th of November or something like that.
100%. Yep.
So the probability is you're not a D1 guy.
No.
The probability is if you're a D3 guy, you don't even get in the game. And that's the problem that I find with the PG year. Everything has to go right.
Yeah.
You have to have a good midget team, which at Hebron you probably can't because you're, 3 hours away from, playing for the Cape Cod Whalers or whatever it's going to be, right? Yeah. The River Rats or whatever high-end midget team. So it makes it very problematic to do that. Now, let's go on the other bookend of that. Let's going to prep school as a freshman. Ship, when you went in as a PG, how tall were you?
5'11",
5'11". How much did you weigh?
probably 200 pounds.
All right. So when you walked in the coach's office and then the freshman that was 5'7", 136 pounds, does that freshman have a chance?
I mean,
What do you think the coach is looking at? Who does the coach want?
You
the
could
bigger guy.
What's a bigger, older guy? That's just
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So what happens is, I always say this, and no disrespect for prep schools, because I love prep schools. Both kids played at prep school.
Yeah.
But the rule of thumb is, don't go early.
No.
Don't go late.
You got to find that sweet spot.
You gotta find the sweet spot when you're going the prep school route. You gotta find the sweet spot.
Yeah. I was sold. It was like a handwritten letter from the coach. It was like, hey, we saw you at Hockey Night in Boston or whatever it was. And I was like, this guy took the time to write me a handwritten letter. Like, he really wants me. I'm going to go here.
Apparently he wrote 10 of them.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's why I was so surprised. I was like, how many of these did you write?
He's got a lot of time on his hands and he can write these personal letters to all these goalies.
That's what I'm saying. I was sold. And then
Hold on. If he landed 10 goalies, he must have written about 50 of them.
Exactly. Exactly. But I don't know if you want to go back to the junior thing.
Okay,
But,
so hold on. So, okay, this is really interesting to me because so you go from there, you have the year just doesn't go your way.
no.
Right. But then you go to South Shore Kings. But back in the day, South Shore Kings would have one junior team.
Mhm.
Now, what do the South Shore Kings have? They have an NCDC team, a
Premier and Elite.
and an Empire team, right?
Now it's NCDC, Premier, Elite. And before NCDC, Premier was the top, Elite, and then Empire.
This is why parents have no chance. I couldn't even follow that.
No.
Okay, dude, right now, NCDC is your top team. What's your second team?
Elite. Premier, sorry.
Second team's Premier. What's your third team?
Elite.
And is that it? 3 teams?
Right now, yes.
Okay, so now we're in a situation where now there's 3 teams. You decide you're not going to go to college. You decide you're going to play junior, but you're playing at the 3rd level of junior.
Mm-hmm.
Talk us through that a little bit.
It actually, like, I probably didn't think of it as well as like you laid it out there, like the like you're going in late to a prep school, or if you had the year I had, like I just riddled with injuries and not an effective year. Like I was like, that's not the performance I want to present to a college. That's not the performance I want to sell myself to a college with. So and then also like I always idolized the Kings, and I was like, I'm gonna go try to make the South Shore Kings.
Yep.
Try to put together a better package to sell to a college.
Okay, that makes a lot of. John, what do you think of that? That makes a lot of sense. Ship usually doesn't make sense, but this one makes a lot of sense.
I would say that's a mature decision to be making at that age.
Yeah.
You know, and then that's thinking, a couple of years down the road, like what do I want to do with my hockey career? And like you said, how do you present yourself? That's a really good choice you made at that time.
Yeah. And I mean, to be honest, at the time it was more a paranoid decision, because like all the talk of like, you got to get film out, you got to give colleges your film. And I would go play a season, put together like some games or clips that I really liked. And then I'd go through an off season with Stop It and EPS over there at Foxborough. And I'm like, I'm so much better. I'm not that same goalie. I need new film. That's not me. I need new film. So it was just like, I just like kept wanting to be like, I'm pushing myself. I'm better. I'm not that goalie a year ago. But essentially it was, I wanted to go put together a better sales pitch for a college, and had a pretty good year with the Kings the first year. And then going into tryouts for my last year, I was going to age out. We had an absolutely killer tryout. Mark Hansen, former Stop It guy, was there at the tryouts, and Coach Beamer was there, Coach Brian. They were both at the tryouts, and I just remember like best tryout I've ever had, witnessed, anything. Like Beamer's jaw was dropped. Like I was just like putting on a show. And then a coach I had a lot of respect for in the Kings organization came up to me and he was like, you better go up to that meeting room and demand a contract like the way you just played. So I was feeling good, age out year. And whether I was foolish or not, I go up to the meeting room and I'm like, I'll go play elite mid-tier team. I'll go play elite, but I just want to know, I want to have the peace of mind that if I'm going to perform, I want to know that you guys are looking at me seriously and will give me a chance to show you what I can do at the premier level if the situation dictates that. And I said that to a room full of the head of the South Shore Kings. And I
Is
just
that
want
Scotty
to know.
Harlow in there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I just
yep. Edmonton Oilers scout. Yeah.
Yeah. And I knew that too. I knew he worked with Edmonton. I just wanted to know that my last year, like I was just so hell bent that like eyes were going to be on me. Like I wanted to know. They were like, well, it was a little half-assed, but it was just like, Chip, we'll be keeping an eye on you. We'll let you know if you deserve it, blah, blah, blah. So my focus was just to go out and perform. And I was told, I was like, Chip, you've had a hell of a thing. You're going to be one of our starters. And I was
all right.
like,
So let me ask you this. Did you believe it? Did you believe that if you went in as an elite and you stood on your head that you might get moved up?
At the time, 100%.
Do you believe that now?
No.
Okay.
Leading into that, I go in, and this is one of the things that like that year, that age out year, as much I was trying to make the best decision possible, do everything the right way as best I could. It was actually the first year of my life that I actually contemplated quitting hockey.
That's a tough year, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when John was growing up, every year his coaches contemplated John quitting hockey.
Yes, it's like, are you coming back seriously? Really? I'm like, I got a new catch glove. I want to use it this year. Is that okay? Like, fine. We'll find a spot for you. Fine.
So expend okay, because so a lot of the kids that you know have had tough experiences at junior. I mean, they're listening to you right now and they're going, yeah, here we go. So go off on this a little bit.
So it was literally like first game. It started from the first game of the season. We're in preseason skates. Our coach is making a point to give a speech about, guys, this is everyone's first game at this level. Like, we're first game as a team. I don't expect your best, but I expect you to give me effort. I expect you to go out there and play your best. Love it. Sure. Thank you, coach. We go out and play the Bay State Breakers, and we actually win 11-5. So
that was a hockey game.
That was a hockey game. And I'll tell you right now, the 5 I let up were like through screens, soft ones that hit my glove and went in. Goals, like 4 of the 5 I wanted back. Because of that game, I was benched for 3 months. So, like,
John, this is why we need the goalie police, dude. We need the goalie police, and we need to get coaches arrested. We really do.
Yeah.
I've always found with each level of hockey, I won't single out juniors, prep school, high schools. It's just be honest with the players you have, because they're entrusting their development as not only a hockey player, but as a person to you. And I find that just be honest with them. Say, hey, this wasn't what I thought I'd be getting for a performance from you. I want to, you're going to sit down for a couple of games, or maybe some attitude that needs to be improved, maybe some technical stuff that needs to be improved, whatever it is. But just be honest with the kids, because everybody's looking to improve. That's why they're playing hockey, especially at the upper levels, just looking to improve. They're looking to get better. So just keep the honesty and the open communication with the players. That's all I ask of coaches.
I go back to we had a kid, and maybe I should leave his name out of it here, but we had a kid playing in the NCDC at a premier team that happens to wear black and gold, very similar to an NHL team. But anyways, so he's having a great year. Things are going well. Has a bad night. NCDC has a bad night, doesn't play for 2 months. Okay. So goes to the coach's office and says, hey, coach, I haven't played for 2 months. And the coach goes, yeah, I know. He says, well, how come? Well, because I didn't play you the next game and you didn't say anything. And then I didn't play you the next weekend and you didn't say anything. And I was just waiting for you to say something. Goalie police, like, come on, come on.
So there's like, that's so funny because there's things that you could say in life, like whether it's generosity or something. It's like, don't expect things like that. Like, give people the chance to actually do those things, to be generous, to be proactive about their playing time in their career. Don't expect every goalie to be like, hey, coach, you didn't play me this game. Like, what's happening? Like,
No, because he thought he was being a good teammate. Like, I'm not
exactly
going to go bitch to the coach. Like, I'm just
exactly
going to keep my head down, work hard, try to stop as many pucks in practice, and then the coach will play me. And then when he finally goes, the coach uses that's just making stuff up.
100%. Yeah.
Just making stuff up. Like all he had to do is, hey, but the other kid's better than you. I think we're going to win. I want to win. And you're the backup. He's a starter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it.
But see, Dak, that goes back to what I was just saying. You might not want to hear it, but that's honest.
Yeah.
It's honest with the kid, and maybe the kid says, geez, maybe I'm going to work a little harder. Maybe I didn't see it from this perspective. This gives me something to really think about and focus on. But it's based on honesty. Again, not an easy conversation to be a part of, but at least it was an honest one.
Yeah. And I think like the first month and a half, 2 months of that being benched for that game, it was like, it could have been BS, whatever, but like, it was like, hey, I'm going to play this other guy. He's kind of stringing together performances, hot hand, whatever. But then like Premier makes a trade for a goalie, sends us down one. Now we have 4 goalies. Then the Providence Capitals organization folds and we pick up another guy. And it's like, all right, now I'm just buried.
Yeah.
But very, very, very fortunately, I just put my head down and worked, and had a point where he gave me a game against the Junior Bruins, and I actually he played me 3 games in a row, won all of them.
Nice.
And he actually asked me to play a 4th in a row, and I still to this day don't know if I should regret it or not, but I was trying to be honest and being like, coach, I've been on the bench for 3 months. Like, I'm grateful I'm playing these 3 games, but like, I don't want to like let my body fail the team. Like, I don't want to like play these 4 games in a row and I've had success and then just like fail this time and then be benched like another 2 months because I didn't capitalize on that last game. So I went to my coach and was like, coach, I think it's a good decision to play one of the other guys this 4th game. I appreciate the 3 games. Let me take a game and I'll be right back to it. But like, I was trying to be honest about how my body felt. And
John, I want your feedback on that. Great, just awesome stuff, Ship. Go ahead, John. Give me your feedback on that.
Well, from a personal perspective, as the individual, you can think that, but as far as a player, you never injured, you never hurt, you never sick. At least that's the generation I grew up in, because I remember reading the stories of goalies from the original 6 that you were going back in the net with stitches in your face because you're afraid to lose your job. I think the general rule that I heard was there's a difference between being injured and hurt. Hurt, you can play through it. Injured, you need medical assistance and stuff. But I get it from a perspective of you don't want to ruin your body. As a team player, you're thinking, yeah, I'm being honest that the other guy might give you a better chance to win tonight for this one game.
Yeah.
But the tough thing is if you do give that opportunity, the Wally Pipp, Lou Gehrig thing, Wally Pipp sits a game and Lou Gehrig goes and plays over 2,000 straight games.
Yeah. Or like that Brady Bledsoe thing.
Absolutely.
So I'll have a different take on it here, guys. So I say the same thing. If you've heard my primaries before, I say the same thing over and over again. Coach says to play, you play. Coach says to back up, you back up. Coach says you're in the stands, you're in the stands. That's where you go. And then you get ready for your next practice.
Yeah.
So point number 1, that's kind of what one of my rules of thumb. Number 2 on that is my mom sings. Okay. She sings at funerals in our community back home in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
How many times do you think that she's had to sing at a funeral of one of her friends? Okay. Could you imagine how difficult that must be?
Yeah.
You're burying one of your friends and you've got to sing the Ave Maria. Okay. And what she says, and this is her expression, she says, when I go to sing, somehow I find the grace of God and I sing. She doesn't know how, but in that moment, you find the grace of God. And in that situation where you're playing your fourth game in a row, even though your body's tired and your mind's saying, hey, I'm tired, that puck drops in that fourth game, you find the grace of God and you find your way. How do I get through this game? Even though I don't get my best, I don't have my best stuff. That's part of becoming a goalie.
Yeah.
Like you don't become a pro without being able to like land at 3:00 in the morning, get to bed at 4, right?
Yeah.
Get no morning skate, play the next night, and you have to be ready to go. Like you have to figure out a way to get through. So I would say from a developmental standpoint, playing that fourth game would have been the experience of how do I get through this game, even though I'm not going to have the juice.
Yeah.
It's
actually like we'll probably get there, but just as like that decision, it's like still to this day, there's like, should I have done that? Like whatever, like maybe some regret. But that was like back in juniors. And then if you go all the way to my pro start for the Fed, the travel to that game, I thought back to that moment and I'm like, I like exactly what you said. Like, there's no time for that. This is going to be my start. Like, I have to find a way.
Find a way.
Yeah.
Gotta find a way. Yeah.
Gotta find a way.
Good stuff.
And
all right. So you go back in, you don't play that fourth game. What happened after that?
They kept kind of putting me in. And through that stretch of games that they actually started playing me again is when we went down to play the PAL Islanders. Yeah. And that is where I was introduced and had a chat with the Stony Brook coach. And that's where he wanted, when he said he wanted me to come play for them.
Okay. So now you're sitting there, you grew up in Boston, in Massachusetts. So you wanted to play for Boston College or you wanted to play for Boston University. They always say if you can't play at BU, you can always play at BC. No, but that's my BU in me coming out. The athletic director told me the other day that even though I'm leaving for Detroit, I'll always be a Terrier. So that means I can make those jokes, right?
Hey, Boston College coach, fly like an eagle, baby. Fly like an
eagle. So now you grew up wanting to play D1, and now you're hitting the realization of I'm a D3 or I'm a club goalie. Take us through that span and what you were thinking and how you were approaching that whole thing.
Well, you're 100% right. Like growing up around here, you're surrounded with Division I talent, the famous Hockey East. Like I had to have talks with my stop-it coaches, my coaches in general, be like, what's realistic for me? And when Stony Brook came into the picture, my mentors at the time were like, I think that's the perfect fit. And
what league division were they?
ACA club hockey D1.
D1. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, funny enough, I think you'll get a kick out of this. The year before I came in, or the couple years before I came in, they had a huge rivalry with ASU.
Oh, too funny. So that's elite because ASU club hockey was elite. Where's Stony Brook?
Long Island.
Okay, gotcha.
And it was actually the year before I came in. So when I got to Stony Brook, the rank they carried into that year was third in the country. The playoffs that previous year, they had upset ASU to go lose to Iowa in the championship. So I was just like, the fact that the year right after that, ASU goes Division I, Joey, like I just thought that was a really crazy coincidence, connection, whatever. But no, like
small world.
I was concerned about like the seriousness, like does anyone take club hockey seriously, like stuff like that. But then I got there, like the level of talent, like the senior class I had, Even the junior sophomores, like the level was, I was like, all right, now I know why everyone's telling me this is a good fit. This is competitive. This is going to push me, but like, it's not that, it's not as strenuous of like a college, a student athlete schedule. Like, like you see like the Division I guys, like they're taking classes in the summer, so their in seasons are easier, all that stuff. Like there's not that much stress on the student athlete part of it.
So tell me a little bit about your practice schedule, game travel. What was it like? I mean, in our area, New England, so many people really don't understand what it's like to play at a high level of club hockey. They have this image of, oh, well, club hockey is like Merrimack College club hockey, which is, oh, well, they have a Division I team and that's just the club team or whatever. And so, I don't think there's a lot of understanding of how good the club hockey is, especially every year now it's getting, and now with the CHL rule, club hockey is going to be really good.
Yeah. All the broadcasts of like UNLV, Liberty playing these D1 schools for reigning champs in Denver. Like those games are just I follow and kind of keep connected with the guys who run the Hockey House podcast. It's all about club hockey, and they're always broadcasting these big events, trying to grow the game of club hockey. And it is, even from when I was in to where it is now, it's just a whole different animal.
You see some of the facilities these teams are playing out of, some of the travel schedules they have, some of the crowds they're attracting. It's D3 level. It's good hockey. And Brian, like you said, with all the transfers, everything happening in college hockey across the landscape, club hockey is going to be a tough spot to get a job at.
Let's be very clear, right? When we have a goalie that says, oh, I'll just play club.
No,
dude, when you get there, there's going to be 12 goalies trying out. Like, don't think you're just going to play club.
And when you say that to a club goalie or a club player, you might get in a fist fight. That's just like, it's not like when I got there, it's like, all right, this isn't just club hockey. Like this is still hockey. And in terms of the schedule and travel, like we're on Long Island, we're still taking bus rides up to play URI. We're driving down to Virginia to play Liberty. We would have a big travel trip per year, and my junior or senior year was a flight out to UNLV. One time the team flew out to Boulder, Colorado. Like just because it's club hockey, like you're gonna have to get in contact with your professors and be like, hey, we're traveling this weekend. I need a day or so to like do this test online, or a day or so to submit this assignment. Like you still have to manage your work with your schedule, but like I said, it's not as stressful, but it's still like you are a student athlete, and they still preach you are a student, then you're an athlete, and that comes like the student comes first still.
So I have one of my neighbors is Patrick Green, and Patty went to Tennessee.
Oh, really?
And they play the midnight games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those things.
So literally, so they play these midnight games where the line is around the rink to get in. They pack the place. It's the end of the pub night. The pub spills out. Everybody, like, it's just a great event.
Yeah.
That they play in a great atmosphere. There's so many fun things about playing club, and I think that they're getting better at promoting themselves too.
100%.
Social media is helping that a lot.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. The social media, like I said, they'll give you tours of the locker rooms. They'll show you the crowd base. They'll show you the excitement. They'll show you the new gear they're getting. Like, hey, look at the colors we're sporting this year. And like, oh yeah, they're rocking it on social media for certain.
And if
sorry. Nope. I was gonna say, not even just like individually too, like this school is doing their stuff, this school is promoting their own stuff. Like I was saying, this the Hockey House podcast, like they are all about club hockey. Like there's D1, D2, D3, like every level, like these guys are promoting, these guys are telling like this is our game. Like the jerseys that you see in club hockey, like you get a little bit more freedom because like I feel like you gotta be a little bit more professional in the NCAA. Like these guys, like just a lot of cool things that I think get the fans to show them a little bit more love.
Didn't a club team beat a D1 team this past year?
UNLV beat Denver.
It was Denver they beat?
Yeah. Reigning
national championship.
Reigning national champs. They beat them.
Yeah.
And they
actually,
started their number one goal.
Interesting story too. The trip that my team had out to UNLV when we went to go play them, they were a bunch of thugs. Like they were just a bunch of guys who were just like, I'm going to UNLV, like party school. Like they were just like rowdy guys. And I remember after we swept them, and the second one, our team was losing like 6-2, and we ended up winning 7-6 in the last game. And like after they blew that, like I heard rumors like their coach quit or something. And then it was after that game or that season, like their program revamped, and now they're in talks of being the next club team to go D1.
Yeah, I've heard that. So you do the club experience, okay?
Yeah.
So now you have to battle your ass off to get starts there, right?
Oh yeah.
Then
actually, if you don't mind, this story is near and dear to my heart because it's just like a real milestone. And after my King season was over, my coach tells me to reach out to the Stony Brook guy, and I give him a call, and he actually tells me that, hey, Ship, I found these 2 other guys. I like them a little bit more than you, so I'm going to go with them. But you're still welcome to come here, but you're just not guaranteed anything.
wow.
And I still went.
That from women before. I found 2 other guys that liked them a little bit more. Not a good experience, Ship, so I can understand where you're coming from. I hear you.
Both those guys, like we came in as freshmen together, like always a place in my heart for those guys as goalie partners. But one thing I'm proud of is out of the 3 of us, by the time I was a junior in college, I was the only one left on the team. Those 2 quit the team.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Hey, no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you gotta go win a job.
Yep.
And I think the way that youth hockey is structured now doesn't promote that. So I loved it when youth hockey was always 2 years. And because every other year you had to make that team.
Yeah.
It wasn't a given because you were playing against the, kids that were a year older. They were trying to get that spot. So I thought it was the best development model because the best kids made it, and they would have to struggle that year. And then the following year, when they were the older group, now they prospered and they were on the power play and they were on the penalty kill and they scored goals. And the next area, they had to go make the team again. And then they were at the bottom. Like they kept on having to earn it, right?
Yeah.
I think that's lost a little in this generation, at least in New England, where most of the kids know where they're going before tryouts.
Yeah.
It's not like go try out and it's, how many tryouts do you hear, but the goalie's already picked and they have because they want to collect the $350. But so
they hear it all too much.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. So I think what you touched on there is what goalies have to understand. Like you got to go earn a spot here.
Yeah. Yeah. And like it was like verbatim, like he told me that, and on the phone, I'm like, oh, I'm coming. Like I'll be there.
Yeah.
Like so the fact that by my sophomore year, me and one of those guys, we were splitting time and we developed a really good relationship. Like when he was down and out with an injury, he was like, oh, I love that. It really helps to know that like Ship's in there that's got my back. Or they asked me, they're like, how does it feel like to be Yoder's partner? And I'm like, we know we have each other's back. Like he's going to go in, play the big games. And then when my time comes, I'm going in there to do what I can for the team. And we know that we're there to support each other.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So you finish up there and now you say, all right, I'm not going to go to work now. I want to play some pro hockey, but I'm coming out of club hockey. The chances of actually making $1 playing hockey is pretty small. And then how did you find your way into the Fed?
Funny enough, it was actually because of COVID.
Something good came out of COVID?
Something good came out of COVID. So some of my teammates down on Long Island who grew up there, they grew up with a bunch of NHLers. They just know a lot of people. And when COVID hit, season was shut down. I'm coming back from knee surgery, cleaning up my meniscus. I just wanted reps, wanted skates, one of my teammates told me of these underground skates that were being held for these pro guys, AHL down to the Fed, all levels, and got me in there. And I remember a good stretch there where I was in one net and Louis Domingue was in the other net.
Wow.
And I just went. They loved the effort I put in. They loved that I was improving every time I came there. And if I let in a soft one, the coach was like, Ship, what are you doing? Like, he was on me. Like, they accepted me into that group, and it just took me to go up to them and be like, hey, this is something I really want to strive for. And they kind of gave me some phone numbers, gave me some insight. And when you said about touched on the dollar thing, it goes back to juniors. I was talking to my coach about maybe I want to go play Stonehill. Like, eventually I maybe want to go pro or whatever. And my coach told me in juniors, Ship, you're never going to make a dime playing hockey. So even though it was like $100 a week, when I was in the tunnel getting ready for my first pro start, that line from that coach was in my head and be like, I'm going to mail you this dime after this game.
Chippy, I'll tell you what, you mentioned a word that to me at all levels of hockey, from youth hockey all the way up, you said effort. Coaches notice effort.
Yeah.
You might not be the signed to a contract guy. You may not be the returning veteran, but from Pee-wee hockey on, they recognize effort. A kid that's maximizing his talent, bringing it every day, they've recognized the effort. So, yeah.
Yeah. But I know, John, you're going to get a kick out of this because this is where the meat of the story comes in. I actually didn't start in the Fed. I technically started in the NHL.
Oh yeah.
As your e-bike.
Yeah.
How did I not know this? How did I not know this till like a month ago?
But even before that, so I'm at these skates, and I grew up playing Brockton youth hockey with a gentleman by the name of John Marino in the NHL right now. I know his brother, his dad, and through all the info and numbers that I got from those guys at those skates, I ended up calling John Marino's dad, asked for some advice, and he actually reached out for me. And no joke, I was because of these skates, I was in Long Island for like a year and a half. So I was working at a 7-Eleven down the road from my apartment. I'm in the stock room, just doing my job, and I get a call. And he is like, hey, is this Richard Shipman? And I said, yes, it is. This is David Montero, a scout for the New York Islanders. I want to invite you to a free agent camp for our East Coast affiliate. And I'm like, no, like 100%, I'm there. And he goes, and if you're interested, I know you're a Massachusetts guy. We are going to be running some just like skill skates for the next month. And I was like, funny enough, I'm going back home to Massachusetts in 2 days. I'll be there. And so immediately I get off the phone and I like bust out the back door. I'm by the dumpster on the phone with my mom crying. Like, I might have a shot with an East Coast team. Like, oh my God. And then I'm back in Mass skating with these guys 4 days a week for a full month. They're like, we love you. You have to come to our camp. And I'm like, I'll be there. So super excited. I'm like, when's it happening? When's it happening? When's the camp? When's the camp? So the day comes, the scout calls me. He goes, hey, Ship, the camp's not happening. The Worcester Railers are now a shared affiliate between the Islanders and the St. Louis Blues. We have no need for a free agent camp for extra bodies. It's just not happening. Just evaporates out of thin air. 20 minutes after I got that phone call, I got a phone call from a former Stony Brook teammate who his boss, who he played men's league with, works for the New York Rangers. And I was asked, would you like to be an emergency backup for the New York Rangers? And I said 100%.
Yes.
100%. And so that was that. I went through the whole process of the hiring. I was on the list of guys. Like, they have a couple guys, you pick your dates and then you go do the dates you're confirmed. So I was put on the list. And funny enough, the first time I went was actually a scheduling issue. I was at work. I worked for Grogan Marciano as a little sporting goods store here in Mansfield. I'm at work at 11 a.m. and I get a phone call. They're like, hey, Richard, the guy who was supposed to work the game tonight canceled. We were wondering if you could make the game tonight against the Flyers. And I go to my boss. I'm like, can I go? Like, can I leave?
We're playing the Flyers
We're
tonight.
playing
Can I
the
leave?
Flyers. So he's like 100%. Like, he's a sports guy. He gets it. So it's 11 a.m. I go get my hockey stuff, and I drive 3.5 hours to Madison Square Garden. And
Say that again. Madison Square Garden. the most
Madison
famous
Square
arena in
Garden.
sports.
And since it was last minute, I knew you had a +1. It was last minute, so my family wasn't around. So I actually ended up taking one of my college goalie partners who still lived on Long Island. He met me out at the arena. And I was telling you a little bit before, John, like, pull into the parking garage, held a spot for me. They parked my car for me, grabbed my bag. I'm being escorted in by suits with badges. And I'm just in the street with my bag, looking up at Madison Square Garden. People are walking by in Rangers jerseys. Like, who's that guy with his goalie stuff? Who's that guy? And this is the coolest experience.
Call up.
Call up. And even
clap.
during the second one I did, my mom still has a picture that when I took her to one. She has a picture of me behind me walking in with my bag, and above me it just says Madison Square Garden, and I'll have that picture forever.
That's sick.
But walking in, you dump your bag at ice level. They take you up to the 10th level in the elevator, and you sit right next to the broadcasting booths at your allocated place. They have e-bug +1, and you sit there and enjoy the game. And I'm there with my college goalie partner. Before the East Coast thing even became a thing, I was sending in my $250 payment emails to Fed teams, like paying to come try out. And then the East Coast thing happened, and I'm like, hey, I have this opportunity. I'm not going to come to your camp. And they would email me back saying, let us know if things change. So I'm in the rafters of Madison Square Garden, can literally touch the roof of the building with my college goalie partner. And I'm like, listen, they told me to let them know if things changed, and things definitely changed. So I'm literally in Madison Square Garden sending out an email to the Port Huron Prowlers up in Michigan. And that was on December 8th. December 12th, I'm driving out to Michigan to sign my first contract with the Fed.
Yeah, too funny.
Yeah.
It's amazing, eh? Hockey's amazing.
Yeah. Like the most roller coaster events I could ever even have imagined. But
is it safe to say that the perception of the quality of the Fed is similar to the perception of club hockey, where it's a lot better than people think?
I think it's a pool of talent that you can get some real anomalies.
Mm-hmm.
But, and like some of my contacts, I still keep in touch with my friends and whatever. Like, they say a lot of things have changed and it's gotten better. But from my own gripe, I think from my time there, it was still a little bit of a circus. Just like,
which is going to be, they don't have the money.
Exactly. Like, they're just trying to make money. We need bodies. If you're good enough to play, come play for us.
Yeah.
And it like learning lessons, learning experiences, all that stuff. It was the biggest adjustment was, going from high school, juniors, college, where you're on this team with people for a certain amount of years, you care about each other, you're all pulling in the same direction, to then go play for a pro team and learn that nobody cares about you. Like, everybody is in it for themselves. And like, sure, you got to be a good teammate. Sure, you have to show up and be an athlete and a pro, but you need to look out for you. And that was a big adjustment for me, because I was I thrived in that community, the community mindset. I don't think it hindered me in any way, but I think in some of their business things and maybe some inner team things, I was a little bit naive too, because I wasn't used to that. Mm-hmm. But there are definitely teams in the Fed. Like, I know, like the Columbus River Dragons, maybe even the Carolina Thunderbirds. Like, I know Carolina now is represented through every level of hockey, from the NHL to the Fed. That's a growing community. There are definitely teams that put forward the proposition of
maybe Adirondack, or maybe isn't there a team on the East that draws very well and everything's top notch? It's not. Could it be Bennington?
Oh yeah, the Bennington Black Bears.
Bingo.
Yes,
Yeah, isn't that like they run it like an East Coast League team?
they do. They have an AHL arena,
Yeah.
an AHL quality arena, and they very much do run it like an East Coast team. Like they had guys running into our locker room asking if we wanted our skate sharpened before the game, and we're all like, when did this become a thing? Like, why don't we have this at our rink?
Yeah.
But no, like there are some teams who do it the right way. They project and lead by example and professionalism, and that's why those programs are ahead than over others.
Very good, Ship. Hey, this has been very informative, eh, John?
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, when I found he was an e-bug in the path he took to get there, it's like I have to get him on. Like we have to have some fun. It's a great story.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's amazing the journey that hockey takes us all on, eh?
Yeah.
You know,
like even from like camps like GCG, and like we would talk about like Scott Darling and all these guys, like you never know what path you're going to take to achieve your goals.
Oh.
And I definitely could not have imagined the path that I took to, whether it was like the Fed or whatever, like to be able to eventually call myself a pro hockey player is just the best. And it actually through Stop It, that my pro start was against the Columbus River Dragons in Georgia, and we had a game the night before in Biloxi, Mississippi. And that we left Biloxi, Mississippi at 8 a.m. and traveled by bus all the way to Georgia and played that day. Wow. And that was the day they told me as we're leaving Biloxi in the morning, hey, Ship, you're starting. So that was the experience where I was like, I gotta be freaking ready for this. Like this is a one hell of a drive. This is my chance.
How'd it go?
And we lost 6-4, but the captain of our team, all the vets who I like was still getting to know, they came up to me like, dude, like we are so proud of you. Like you gave us a chance. They appreciated my effort, and I was proud of myself. Yeah. I think I did do what I could to be ready, and I did everything I could to help our team. Yeah. And like I was saying, with Stop It, like I told that story about that bus trip to then go get my first pro start to Devin Cooley and Colin Delia while we're sitting having lunch at GCG. Yeah. And it was surreal to hear AHL goalies say, holy crap, I don't know how you did that. That's some adversity. And like me thinking, I'm in the Fed, who cares? Like to hear them acknowledge some adversity that I had to go through at a lower level, it was like, it like made me feel really good at what I had accomplished.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to have you part of the team here at Stop It, Ship.
I'm happy to finally be a director after training at Stop It since I was 14.
For your whole life.
Yeah, literally.
All right, John. Thank you very much for joining us once again.
Fun as always. And just want to give a shout out to Stony Brook. Their ice cream is unbelievable if you haven't had it. If you know what I'm talking about, the vanilla bean is, yes, top notch.
So me thinking we could actually go through a whole podcast without referencing ice cream, I think I was delusional.
Correct. We're correct.
And if you're not familiar with us here at Stop It Goaltending, we have an incredible app called Stop It Goaltending U. 7 new videos a week, 7-day free trial. You can find it on the Apple Store or Google Play. Thank you very much, and we'll catch you next one.
Fun as always.
Thank you.